So I'm actually looking for feedbacks from you. So please go ahead and
Okay.
tell me how's the program for you? Like, were you able to understand the concepts? How's the speed of the program and the notes, everything you can go ahead and give.
Yeah, it was very helpful this session for me because the pace was something that I was comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted it a little slower and there was more opportunity to discuss with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sometimes I ask like really basic questions.
Mm-hmm.
There was more time,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the
So,
pace was slower. That really helped me.
so the pace was slower, so that's helping you. That's what you're telling, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it
great.
is. I wouldn't say slow or fast, but I
Mm.
would say it was comfortable. I would
Mm.
put it that way.
So you're able to understand
Able to
what was
understand
discussed.
and
Okay.
yeah, understand discussion because there was more discussion.
Mm.
Most of the times, I didn't know what questions to ask
Mm.
because I'm still gathering all the information. But
Okay.
what everyone else was asking was really interesting
Mm.
because sometimes I wouldn't think that way, you know.
Mm.
Like yesterday, Dilly Pen gave a feedback day before
Mm.
yesterday, I think,
Mm.
for me to like, start thinking about what to do rather than just watching a video and replicating it.
Correct.
So that suggestion was really helpful because then you
Mm.
kind of visualize and think what to
Mm.
do. I wouldn't say I know.
Mm.
I'm still confused a little bit
Mm.
how to go about it, what he said.
Yeah, okay.
But
Mm.
still, I think I'll start with that. But overall, the
So the
sessions,
con
your
mm.
explanation, the notes, everything was
Mm.
very helpful. I mean, you're very patient. One
Mm.
thing, you have that smile on your face continuously. So
Okay.
that really helps to sit through and
Mm.
because whatever
Mm.
questions we ask, whenever we stop you in between, you
Mm.
patiently stop, listen, and answer in detail. Sometimes the classes went on like more than 1 hour, 1.5 hour, or even more.
Mm. Mm.
But still, you patiently sat through and explained everything. Right? I think that's one quality I don't think so you find that much because normally when the session finishes, people just
Mm.
leave. But
Thank you so
you
much.
took
Thank you
that
so
time
much.
and really listened to us. That is very important. Listening is something that's very important. And yeah, I'm very happy with all the sessions. I definitely think by the end
Mm.
of it, I've learned something and
Mm.
feel a
You
bit
just
more confident, I would
you
say.
just need to practice a bit more.
Yeah.
I'll
And
try to
even
keep.
your videos
Mm.
are very,
Mm.
very I don't know even basics when I joined. So
Mm.
even I am able to understand. Like yesterday, I
Mm.
just watched the 10 minutes, 7 minutes video, the part one, and I understood
Yeah,
what was the
about
JSON
the API,
format,
about the API
objects,
concept.
key value. Yeah, yeah, the GP thing. It's
Mm.
really helpful. And thank
Great.
you for guiding us through, every step.
Great. Good to
It
know,
really
Ragini.
matters a lot. Thank
Good
you.
to know. Looking forward. Let's see what others will tell, and then we'll do a complete project of API today. Whatever requirement that we had yesterday,
Sure.
like I'm trying to complete the project today. We'll be working with a API today, and the API is random user ME, and here is the result of the random user ME. So I'll quickly explain. There are some random users. 5 users will be generated whenever we make this API call, or whenever, like if you see here, I'm pasting the URL in the browser and browser is giving me the results. So instead of getting these results from the browser, we are trying to get it from UiPath, and then we'll continue to work on that. Simple project, very simple project. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Now, the task is already assigned to you in API project. Now, the prerequisite is you need to have some information about API calls, new to APIs. Understand that API is a message that we are sending from our device, from our local mobile or desktop or laptop to a server, and we are expecting some response we are expecting some response. That's the simple thing. The way how we do that API calls, or if we need to make a phone call, we need to add correct phone number and we need to press the dial button. In the same way, API calls also, we need to have the correct URL and we need to work on it. So that's the simple thing that we need to do with APIs. Now, the requirement is the data will be available in API call. Bot need the information. create a text file like name, mobile number, and location. And we need to download only male users information. For female users through BRE. Download each image for every user. Upload the text file and image file on the folder in storage bucket. And for this, if you want to check with UiPath with APIs, I have already created a playlist. Just search for UiPath with APIs and then add Vajrang at the end so that you will get this playlist. It's available for everyone, but this particular project is only for the project team members, like complete implementation. Let's go ahead and see quickly. I'm opening my development environment. Okay. I have my development environment on. Let's go and start with UiPath project. We'll follow all the activities that we need to do to create a project, random user. So first activity is to go and create a GitHub task. Let's go into GitHub and create a task. GitHub, go to Vajrang and UiPath in 30 days and open issues. Create a new issue for yourself. This is projects team. Okay. And the requirement also will just go ahead and add copy and then add a text. Then, so we also have a used storage bucket name and queue name as random user ME. So keep both as random user ME. That's the prerequisite. And for members who are completely new, this may be a bit fast, but once you are into projects and once you get habituated, this will be like a cakewalk for you. We'll start with the ID that is 2299. Okay, and remove this hashtag. And this is random user project. Let's go, and I'm adding this in the GitHub source code 2024. This is August, and then let's go ahead and select the project. So all the projects that we are doing here are like full-fledged project. Let's go here, and what is the first activity that we must do? We need to understand what are the prerequisites. Prerequisites are simple. Just go through the requirement. Storage bucket name and queue name should be random user ME. This is what you need to have. So I have already created my custom storage bucket or my storage bucket with the name random user ME, but let me just confirm in the development environment if I have it or not. Go to our development environment, UiPath orchestrator. My orchestrator is open. I'm going with shade and I should have storage bucket named um, random user ME. This is one storage bucket. And I also need to have a queue called random user ME. If I don't have it, I'll create it. I already have a queue. Okay. Now the next step is go to data folder and change the queue name. What is the queue name? Random user ME. Just try to name it in the same. Paste it in the values and click on save. Maybe framework, you can just add random user ME as a project name. So this is a business process name. Okay. So whenever we see some logs, they will be tagged with this particular log. Let's go ahead and click on close. That's the first step. Now we need to make API calls. Now, if you can understand our requirement, how many times do we need to make an API call to get 5 values? Ragini, what is the answer?
To get 5 values.
How many times do we need to make a API call?
Once.
Yeah, this is done only once. Okay. Now, how many times do we need to create text files and add location to them?
Depends on the number of
10 times?
lists, right? N times, yeah.
Okay, so remaining all are business cases like download only male users information through female users BRE, download each image for every user. So download image for every user, how many times do we need to do this?
Download each image N times.
Yeah. Along with that, uploading to storage bucket, how many times do we need to do?
Uploading text file once.
For every user, we need to upload the file, right?
For
So it
every
should be
user. Okay, then N times.
N times. Okay. So now let's go ahead and try to continue with the requirement. So this is what we have. And finally, we need to send a report. How many times do we need to send a report? One time. Now, what is the URL? Let's go with the URL, and the URL is random user ME. Let's copy this URL. Copy link, and so this is the prerequisite URL. We are using this. And if you don't keep any results, it will give as many results as it wants. So I'm giving it 5. Let's go ahead and give 5 results. Going back here, we need to first write the code for dispatcher part. So after all the items, add log fields, create a sequence, and in this sequence, add activity. What is the activity that we must use? HTTP request is the activity that we must use. But if we don't have it, if you can see here, orchestrator HTTP request, G Suite, this is web API activities. If you don't have it, you can click on this download button. It will automatically download the package and it will give you the activity. Now, if you see here, there is web API activities that we need to install. and that got installed. And here, let's go ahead and add HTTP request. In this HTTP request, let's configure it. Let's go with the URL. So this is my URL, and click on preview. This is to check if we are able to get the values or not. Are we getting the values?
Yes.
Click on OK. Now, whatever values we got, we need to send it to orchestrator queue. Is it right?
Yes.
Now, do we need to send every information that is there in our file, or can we use only items that we need? What do we need? We need gender. What else we need? We need gender, name, mobile number, location.
Mobile. Okay.
So why do we need gender?
The condition to download.
To check if the user that we are trying to work on is a male user or not. Download only male user information, throw female users as BRE. That's the reason we are using the gender. Now we need to have name, gender, and location. These three details, if we can have, that should be enough. In the location, let's go with street only for now, or else we will get too many details. What is that? Name, location, and that should be n times. Okay. In here, whatever values that we are getting, how can we understand this better? Copy and use something called JSON beautifier. JSON beautifier. Now this will help me to see what are the results that I have. Now how many results in total do I have? How many did we request for? 5 results. And each and every result, we will have the same structure. So in this, if we want to get the first item, we need to check with this particular item. Let's go ahead and maybe I'll use a different tool that will help me to get better understanding. So JSON viewer, this is a JSON formatter that I have. Let's go with jsonformatter.org. Then this, let's go with jsonformatter.org. Okay, this is mostly the same, but we'll have some differences. Let's just see. Okay, JSON beautifier. Yeah, let's go with this one. Okay, if you can see here, it is showing me the way how the structure is formatted. There are 5 results, and each and so we'll have the index, since it is an array, we'll have the index from 0. Now in 0th one, I need to have gender, name, and location. Let's go ahead and see how to get it. And also we need to have one more information. What is that? To download images, do we need to have picture information?
Yes, yeah, we need to have the images.
Yes. So let's go ahead and try to use. Now, whenever we get some information in the form of text, to use JSON properties, there is an activity called deserialize JSON. Okay. This now, what is the requirement of? Now, can you tell me what is this one, Ragini? Can you tell me what is this number? Seems to be very random number, right?
It's the date of birth.
Yeah, but the number seems to be very random, correct?
Yeah, it's very random.
But what if we convert into a date and time format? Can we understand that this is the month and this is the date and this is the year?
Yes.
After you convert a particular value to a particular format, only then you are able to get some meaningful value out of it. Is it right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, whatever we are getting from HTTP request is a string. We will not be able to use it perfectly. Now, to get it the way how we want, we need to assign it to a string str response. Okay, this must be converted to a JSON object. So this must be converted. The string value must be converted to a J object. Control K, J object of response. Clear?
Yes, that's true.
Now, how should we proceed further? Let's go ahead and try to understand with some logs. Log message. This log message is just for my general purpose, not anything related to the code. But this will help me to stop the bot in this particular location using a breakpoint. So if you see the bot executed and it's loading all the configuration values. Now let's use this watch panel more. Understand, the watch panel will definitely help you if you know how to use it. J object of response. Now it's giving me, now see here, str response will still have values, but this is in the form of string, which is also having some backslashes, or this is also called as escape characters. This is one single string. We don't have any value to it. This is like one big paragraph. Now in this big paragraph, it is dividing that into properties like key value pairs. Now there are 2 objects. If you see our JSON, how many objects do we have?
2 objects.
Object we have two.
Objects are
Two
four.
objects.
Okay. Now the first object is results, correct?
Okay, two objects.
And the second
Yeah.
object is info. Now, what values do we need? Do we need info values or do we need results values? So
Info.
what information do we need? Do we need results information or info information?
Information is something.
You can leave about info, right? Because there is no
When
values that we can use are available over here.
Okay.
All we
No
need to
value.
all we need to check out is this results, correct?
Yeah.
Now, how can we get that in UiPath? Just go here, J object response, and you need to give the key. What is the key? Results. Now, when you give the key results, can you see how many values did we get? J array of. So how many results did we get in total?
Results we have 5 total.
Correct. Now in this results, how can we get the first item? Now, how can you get values from array? If you want the
Index.
yes, in the same way, if you want the first value, you need to give the 0th index. Now here in this first value, you have 12 objects or 12 keys. Now in this, which one do we need? Do we need gender?
No.
We need gender to identify if it is male or female. Along with that, we need name. Along with that, we need location. Okay, so if you see here, click on gender. Can you see the path over here? Go to object, from object go to results, from results go to 0, and then go to gender. Let's go here and then go to gender. Hit enter. Now, are we getting the value? Proper value?
Yes.
Now, if you want the second value, then what we must do?
Index must be 1. No,
Correct.
I think, yeah.
You're
For
right.
the second result, index will be 1.
Yes. For the third one?
2.
For the fourth one?
3.
For the fifth one?
4.
For the sixth one?
No, I think 6 will not take it, right? With the results, we have only 5.
Exactly. So since we have only 5 values, we'll get 5 values, and after 5, it will throw an error. Now, if you see here, all the value before the indexes are same. Is it right? J object of results, J object of results, J object of results, and J object of results value is an array. Is it right? J object of results. Is this value an array? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah. It is an array.
Great. Now, if it is an array, can we loop in the array?
Yes.
Okay. Now, again, I'm telling you, this is a JSON object. Now, to loop a JSON array, it must be converted to a JSON array first, or the value must be converted to a JSON array first. How will you do that? Simple. Along with JSON, deserialize JSON, we also have something called as deserialize JSON array. Now, what is the value that we need to send over here?
We need
We have the complete object, and what is the array here?
Results as an array. So I think we need to provide results.
Exactly. So we need to provide results and then dot toString. Now this will be converted, all the results will be converted to string, but again it will be converted to a JArray here. JArray of results. Now, since we are having an array, can we loop in all the values?
Yes.
Let's go with a for loop. For each, and then what is the input that we must send in for this collection?
JArray.
Correct. JArray of results. And then every time we are going to get one item that is the current J token. So you can treat like 0 is one token, 1 is one token, like all this. Every time you're going to get like first time this will come, second time this will come, third time this will come. Like this, you are going to get all the values. You just need to do one simple activity, log message. Now let's go ahead and add log message. Now we are already in 0th index. Now, if this is the condition, what we need to give as a key to get female?
Current row of gender.
Current item of gender?
Dot toString.
Yes, correct. So current J token of gender dot toString. This is the only thing that we need to give. Let's go ahead and continue our bot and let's see how things are happening. Breakpoint, and then let's go ahead and debug the code. Now we are here. Let's go and step into it. Now we got one result male, and the second result is female, third result is male, fourth result is male, fifth result is female. And why did it stop after fifth item?
Because array has only total number of 5 items to iterate.
Correct. Now we got gender, we also need name, we also need location, and we also need picture information. Let's go ahead and see how things will be done. Now, instead of adding all the values, you just need to go from 0th index. From 0th index, you need to give 2 keys to get large picture. What are the two keys that you need to give?
Picture
And
then large.
exactly. So let's go ahead and add. Now these values must not be stored in our local. This must be stored in the queue items. So what is the activity to add items to queue?
Add queue item.
That's right. Add queue item. And then the queue name. Are we going to give hard-coded value?
No, I think we need to provide it through config file.
Correct. And the key from the config file is
Key from config file, maybe
orchestrator queue
that
name.
name. Yeah, orchestrator queue name.
Okay. Now here, just click here, advanced editor, config of orchestrator queue name dot toString. Click on save and item information that we need to collect. See here, we can directly give the keys, no need for double quotes. So what are the keys that we need to give? Gender. Okay. How can we get the gender? Current item of current J token of
Gender.toString.
gender.toString. Okay. Now along with that, we need few more details. What do we need? Name.
Name.
Okay. In name, we have multiple values. Let's go ahead and take title only. So what do we need to give?
We need to give name, and I think with name we need then title. Name and
Yes.
title we need to give.
Correct. So we need to give current J token of name of title dot toString. Click on OK. Seems to be easy, right? Add next one. Location. In location also, let's go ahead and try to give. See, only number will not give better information. Let's give name and street name and street number. Okay. So to get to street number, location, street and number. So we'll give street or we'll give location. And here we are going to give current J token of. See, I suggest you not to type in than that. Just go ahead and copy paste the keys. Like this, you will not face errors. So location. Okay. And after location, what do you need to give? Street. And after street,
Number.
exactly. And this must be in double quotes. See, always keys are in double quotes. Dot toString. We should have multiple values, right? Name. This is number. That's good. How about name? Everything is same except the last key. All I can do is copy this, add double quotes, and then add everything except number. I will give name. Click on OK. Now I got three values. The other value that I also have is picture.
Sure.
Let's go and add picture and same information. Current J token of picture, and in picture I need large. Okay, and then
so over here we are only storing the link, right, for that picture.
Correct. So whatever processing we do it in process workflow, not here.
Okay.
So now again, don't do everything and then hit on that play button. You may fail. Go ahead and debug after a particular activity. Things will work and then you will see. Step into and adding a queue item. Let's go ahead and add a queue item. Verify if the queue item is added. How to verify? Go to orchestrator queue, random user ME, go here, view transactions. We got one value and here are the details. Now I have gender, I have name. Can you see that location? I have both number and value here.
Yes.
Okay. And picture also, I have the complete URL. So let's just go ahead and copy the URL and see if the value is working or not. I'm getting the value. So do I have all the information that I need?
Yes.
Now, let's go ahead and continue. I'll remove the breakpoint. How many items will be added to queue?
5.
All the items are added. Now let's go ahead and continue. I haven't written anything in the process workflow. Now, when I don't write anything in the process workflow, what will happen?
By default, it will go to success state.
Yeah, because everything is successful, like there is nothing to do. It will take one item, process that item and move it to success.
Successful.
Okay. Like this, all the items will be moved to success. Now let's go ahead into the items and let's work on the process. Now everything that must be done n number of times must be in the process state. Where are these 10? And here we have items like we need to create new text file and we also need to download image. This must be done. And we also need to upload the items to storage buckets. So all these three must be done n number of times. So these three activities must be in the process workflow. Go here, go to framework, go to process, and here let's start implementing. Now, every time we get a transaction item, this is the variable where it will be stored by default. Let's go ahead. And what is the first thing that we must do? Check if the gender is male or female, correct?
Mm.
So here I will check with in transaction
Yes.
item dot specific content
Content.
and gender dot to string. Okay. And this must be equal to, if it is equal to what?
Male
If it is male, then you must process. If it is female, then you must throw error.
process. Yeah, business.
Correct. So if the gender is equal to female, okay. Now if it is satisfied, then you need to use an activity called throw.
So
That will help me to throw new business rule exceptions. Business rule exception. And then you just need to give female item found. Okay. And then don't process. So this is just random message that we are giving so that we will let the business user know why we are not processing this. This is completed. Now, if it is not a female user, then we need to process it. What we must do? We must create a new text file with name, mobile number, and location. Okay, mobile number is also requested. For now, we are going to ignore it. Let's continue with name and location. Now, what is the activity that we need to use to write a write text information?
right text file.
Write text file.
Correct. Write text file. And in this write text file, what should be the name of the text file? See, all these are temporary items, right? Do we need to really store them forever?
No.
So the folder that's already existing for us is temp folder. We can use it to store our information. All we can do, so the file name, let's go ahead and configure. So from data folder slash, or this is one way, or the other way that we can do. I'll give the best one. Now let's go ahead and create an ascend statement. Okay. In this ascend statement, let's go ahead and give str file path. Now in this file path, I'm going to write some code. See, this is interesting. Environment dot current directory will give me the project directory. Okay. Dot toString. From this, you need to navigate plus slash data slash temp and then slash the file name. Let's go ahead and give the current user name. What is the current username, from where we are getting it?
Current name.
Yeah, I think I have added something different. Name, we are getting it as Miss and Mr. It may not give us the complete values. So instead of that, can we use location? I think location strings are big better, right? So let's use location. Like every time if you use only name, like Mr. we have, and here we have Miss or Mr. So things will be like duplicated or overwritten. So here in transaction item, so instead of name, what are we using to name the file?
Location.
That's right. Location dot toString. Hit on save. Now here every time a file path will be available. Let's go ahead and save the file path. Now what is the information that we need to write in this particular file? Let's go ahead and write name, gender, location, and then the picture name. Okay. Let's see how to do that. In transaction item dot specific content. Again, this is like a JSON. You are just filling in the object keys. Gender dot toString. Okay. And then what else do we need?
We need location, name, and picture URL.
Exactly. So to add a new line into the code, you need to use VB new line. Let's go ahead and copy everything and hit on paste, paste, paste. Okay, like this, we have 4 keys. Let's go with name. See, every time I will not type in the values. I'll just copy paste them. This will help me to avoid any typing errors or typos. And then picture. Let's go ahead and also save picture. Do you know how to get only the file name or this particular picture name instead of like 6.jpg, instead of the complete path? There is something called path.get file name. So this will help me to get only the file name without the extension. Few members will say that, okay, I'll go ahead and split this string into slash and then I'll get the last item. That's not required. We just need to send file name dot path dot get file name and it will give me the file name. Now here there is something that's throwing an error. Let's see if autofix can fix it or else we'll do it. In UiPath latest activities, this is the advantage. Like see, every time it is in the new line, it is not allowing us to continue further. Like I want to have everything in a new line, but this is not allowing me. So how can we add items in the new line in the code? Anyone know this? How to do this?
I think there is one expression we use in Visual Basic as an VBLF.
Other
That
than
we
that,
can
you can also use, okay, I think this got solved now. We don't have any error. Just try to format it properly. It should be resolved. The other way around, if you are using VB, you can use underscore after space. This will also tell that, okay, there is a next line and it's continuation of it.
Okay.
Click on save.
Got it.
Okay. Now, based on this, it will write all the text files. And there is also one more thing that we must do. We have 2 more minutes. Let's try to complete the code within 2 minutes. The next one is, okay, let's just run the bot. Let me show you first how things will be done. Then I'll continue further, or else it will be confusing. So now every time if we run the bot, how many items will be added?
5.
5 items will be added, right?
Yeah.
So if you see, all the items are completed and one item is failed, and we will also have a reason for it. Why it's failed?
Female item found.
Is this correct?
Yeah.
Now, since others are male, we must have all the items available in the temp folder,
file.
correct? Data, temp. Are we having all the items in the temp folder?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And do we have all the values?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And we also have only the file name, right? We did not save everything, the complete path. So this must be enough for us, for our work. Now, the second activity that we must do is to download the image. Download each image for every user and upload the file with image and text. Now let's go ahead and try to do something like this. For downloading the image, can you tell me how you will download an image if you want to download? This one, if I want to download, how can I download? Open the browser, right click on the image and save as image, and then give the path. Is that what you will do normally?
Yeah. Yeah. We can. Otherwise, we can navigate to URL that we can use, and then we can save it. Instead of opening the browser, we can just navigate to URL.
Instead of opening the browser, what is the activity that we must use?
Navigate to. In the navigate to,
Okay.
we can use an in transaction item dot to like picture.
You
It
mean
will
go to
launch the
URL?
Yeah. Yeah, go to. I think in classic we have navigate, in the modern we have go to.
Correct. But even in this, you need to use a browser, correct?
Yeah, we need to use a browser.
There is no need for it. We can use, since that is a URL, we can still use HTTP request. In this HTTP request, you can send in the URL as a item. Now, when we are using HTTP request, initially we got all the text information, right? Now, when it is an attachment, we'll have an option to download the file. Let me show you how. Clear on the file path. So this is the complete picture information that I need, complete URL. So send this one as a request URL. This is what we need to send. Now, whatever response we are getting, is it a text format or a file?
It's a file.
File. So whenever we have a file, you can use file name response attachment. So whatever attachment that you have, you can send in the value over here or the path over here. Whenever there is a file that will be downloaded with the same name, I'll show you how. Here we are saving it with the name, right? Here file path will be the text file. Now, if you can see in here, we are saving it with the text, right? .txt. Now the same path, let's go ahead and use str assign control K str image path. Okay. Now we are already creating some path over here, file path with the complete value. Can we just replace this particular item, this particular location item? It will be with .txt, right? If we can replace with .jpg, will we get a path, complete path? Let me just show you how. Here, if you just go ahead and copy as path, and if you can go into here, cancel. So this is my complete path. Is it right? D drive, git code, and complete information.
Yes.
Okay, what if I just replace instead of .txt, if I just give .jpg, will this be in a image file format, the path?
Yeah,
All
maybe
our
it will
image.
consider as an JPG extension, and it will create that path as an JPG.
Irrespective of what it considers, it will save it as .jpg.
Yeah.
Okay, to do this, again, simple coding, string dot replace, string dot, or you can also use str file path dot replace. So what I need to replace, .txt must be replaced with .jpg. Now this will create me a complete path with the same name as the text file, but with .jpg extension. That path, I'm going to send it to the attachment to be saved. str image path. Okay. And then that's it, nothing else. We are not getting response content, but we are getting the file out of it. That's the reason instead
Yeah,
of giving
so
response.
we are doing this just providing str image path it just because that we'll be able to identify that for each text file this is the image. For
Correct.
the second image this is the image, right?
Correct. Every time a new name will be created and it will be added. Let's go ahead and try to run the bot and see if this gets executed. Right. Now, new items will be added, and also let's see the information over here. We are getting the files. Let's go ahead and refresh. Now, if you're seeing here, there is a image that's not working properly, or if you can see here, I did not properly name it as .txt. I think that was the reason it is throwing me some, like it's not able to work properly. Here in this one, after the value, I need to add plus what is the string substring, what is the value that I need to add?
.txt. .txt.
.txt. Yeah, just save it. Control X. Now let's go ahead and delete everything. Go here, run the bot again. Let's see. Things are done. So along with the text file, you also have an image now with the same names.
With the same name.
Now, why only 2 items are available here? Why not 5?
Maybe we are done with transaction.
Maybe other 3 are female items.
Yeah.
So out of 5, only 2 are male items, and those 2 we are able to check them and download them. Now, the last part. What is the last part? Upload the text file and image on the storage bucket. Now, how can we do that? Simple. Go here. There is an activity called add storage bucket or upload file to storage bucket. Upload storage file. In this, it is expecting few values. The first one is storage bucket name. So are we going to give hard-coded value for storage bucket name?
No, I think we can use an config.
And what is the storage bucket name? Random user ME. This is the same name. So I'll just go ahead and save it. And here storage bucket name in config of, since that is an in argument, and I'm going to give the storage bucket name dot toString. Okay. And here there are 3 values that we need to give. This file resource will be used in Studio Web. You can ignore, though it is star. You need to give the path. So what is the path of the text file?
str file path.
Correct. And along with file text file, we also need to send image file, right?
Yes.
So we need to send str image path. Now we are mentioning it like, okay, this is the image path and this is the file path, but we also need to give the destination, like what should be the name in the destination. If you are seeing in this particular shade storage buckets, it need to know inside this bucket where it must store. Random user ME, there is nothing, right? So we just need to give the file name of what the file it should be. Now, again, how to get the file name from this particular path? I've already said this just a few minutes back.
Path.get file.
Correct. Path dot get file name and then just give str path dot
str path.
toString. Okay. Now the same thing we also need to do with image. Now here what we must do instead of str file path,
str image.
this must not be in double quote. This must be in variable. So if you give it in double quotes, then it will be treated as a string.
Key.
Yeah, str file path. It's a string. That's what it will be treated as.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and run the code and let's see. Run the bot. So see, the project scope will never be limited. We can add as much complexity as we want to it. Let's see. First one is done. The file got updated and here is the values. So if you see here, items are completed and bucket, if you can just go back and see this one, the image is available. Let's go ahead and confirm if the same image is available or not. This is 1684. Yeah. So is it the same image? So whatever files we have, we got them downloaded. Now tell me something. I need to send a report to a user stating that this is successful and this is failed. How can I do that?
We can
Should
send
I
report
have-
in end process.
What do we need to do?
Go to end process.
Okay, in this,
This
how to get the items that are successful and that are failed only for this particular job.
we can get it from orchestrator
Okay, how to get it from orchestrator?
by we having that status update on queue item also. That is new status successful.
Correct.
By
I
using
think get transaction status.
Get transaction status. Is there an activity called get transaction status? No, there is only get transaction item. So we'll do one thing that is called the approach is correct. Get queue items is what we will get. Okay. And this must be written before close all applications. Let's add it to a sequence. Okay. After getting all the items, we will loop all the items for each item. Okay, we'll get the status log message if it is successful or not. Now I will add few values to this, but this is the logic or this is the algorithm. Now the queue name, from where can we get the queue name?
From config.
Config of
Okay,
Orchestrator
queue name
dot
dot
to
toString. Now after getting orchestrator queue name dot toString, we are going to get some values. Now do we need to get all the values or do we need to get only failed and successful items?
failed and successful only.
Failed and successful. And queue items, this is IEnumerable of queue items. Okay, now here I'm going back and I'm giving IEnumerable of queue items.
we should we should
Now
take also by time. We're already having the new items in the queue, so it will get some error to us. So that's why we should take some reference like time or anything like what is updated latest file.
How can you get that? We'll see in a while, but let's just go ahead and see how to get the log message. Okay, I'm going to leave this part to you to identify how to write a table and how to create some add items to it that you can do on your own or think on how to do that. But here I'm going to use current queue item dot status dot toString. Now, how can we identify that this particular item is with this particular status? We will have something called as current queue item dot id dot toString. So for this particular ID, the status is successful or failure, but we will not be able to completely understand what is the ID. So to facilitate that, what we will do, we will also add the ID of, or you can say that we will also add some values. Click on OK, save. We'll also add this particular items. We'll add the location. This location we'll add so that this will be something like unique value that we can identify. Okay, this particular item failed. Current queue item. How to get the location? Yeah, that specific content. All the keys can be retrieved using specific content. ToString. Okay, and then plus and then hyphen 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 and then this one. Now this is throwing an error. What we should do? Keep underscore at the end. This will help us.
Yeah.
And why this is throwing an error? I think that's because here dot toString is missing. And let's quickly use autofix. Yeah, there is some extra plus button or plus. That's the reason it's throwing error, but now it's good. Autofix really saves more time to identify and find errors and get resolved. Let's go ahead and see if things are working or not. Let's run the bot. Vasu said it correct. Like now when you are getting queue items, we have around 25 items. All the items it will get. Now, how can we make sure that we retrieve only items that we will process or we process? Can you see here? It extracted all the items. It's extracting this particular item, failed, success, failed, success. How can we extract only the items that we worked currently in this execution? Before we start with the bot or before we add items to the bot, what we will do, we'll create a variable. I will assign something, and this one is date time dot now, and I will make it as control K is daytime date execution ID. So will execution ID be duplicated at any time? Can you duplicate at time? Current second, can you duplicate
No.
in the next minute?
No.
No. No.
So this you can use as the execution ID, date time. Okay. And this date time, whatever date time that we retrieved, just try to make sure this is having a global access. And this one we are going to send into this particular get queue items. And here there is something called from. You need to use from and then advanced editor and send the date time. So it will get only the items that are added after you create a timestamp. Now, after you create a timestamp, like will you get the past items also? Let's say that you want the items from today and you have added 29 or 30. Now, can you get the items from previous days or that are uploaded in the previous days if you have given from date?
No, I think we'll get only for 30 because we have date time dot two now. Like
Yeah,
now.
it will not also get only the date and time. It will also get with the milliseconds. So you are okay to get it with the milliseconds also. Let's go ahead and see now how many items. Now, how many items will we get in the output?
5.
Okay, it started processing. 5 items completed, and these are the items. Understood now how to get the current execution date and time values or current execution report 7366 and 736. One last thing. Now, if you keep on downloading the items, my location size will be increased drastically, correct? Let's say that we are running every 10 minutes. The size in the temp folder will be increased every time, correct?
Yes.
Now, how can we correct it? As soon as we upload the items to storage file, do we have any use for the storage file? This text file and image, as soon as after we upload them to storage buckets, these are not useful for us. All you can do is go ahead and delete activity, delete file, and in this file, give the location str image path and str file path. So this is called
I
cleanup
think you
activity.
provided 2 times file path you provided 2 times.
Let's go ahead and give image path. So now will I store the files or will it run and just clear the files every time?
I think it will clear the files every time.
Yeah. 2 items downloaded, deleted, items downloaded, deleted. Now there can be a question. Vajran, can I go ahead and directly move the file into storage bucket without downloading? The answer is no. You need to download it so that it stores in your local machine. From there, you can publish the item to store, like publish to a different location. And if you can see here in the output panel, we have all the items completed. There are 3 items successful, 2 items failed, and you have the values over here. Let's go ahead and quickly check one final time. This is 6661 Oak Street, and it should be available in our storage bucket. Random user ME 6661 Oak Street. The text as well as the value is available. This is the end of the project. Within, I think it didn't took more than 40 minutes to 50 minutes to complete from zero till the all the reporting part. How is it? Easy to understand? Yes or no?
Yeah, it was easy to understand, but I think the few API activities, I think those are new to me
Yeah.
at least.
Okay. So in our program, we'll not only complete the project, we'll also deploy it to the production. Let's go ahead and deploy this to the production. Code completed. Now I'm storing it in the local machine and click on publish. This is there in my downloads folder. Downloads. Okay. I'll open my production orchestrator. So working only in development environment will not help. We should also deploy in production to find any errors. Go to prod. So this is my prod orchestrator, which all my team will have access. Tenant packages, you need to upload the package. Now this is not uploading the XML files. This is the package like your exe file or your APK file if you are into Android. Close. Once that is done, I need to go and create a new process. What is the process ID? 2299 is my process ID. Hit next and display name I can remove. That's fine. Start now. I have robot or assistant that runs in the background and this is running. Let's see the logs. Hopefully everything should be okay. If it is not okay, let's identify the error and let's correct it. It must not execute in our local machine. It must execute in the client environment. That's when we can say things are working. Bot execution started, male, female, get transaction item. Okay, there is an error and it's saved at a particular screenshot. Close. Now, why this is throwing an error? You're seeing it's going to see users, robot, and you get packages, this particular path, and this particular path is not writable. It's a read-only path. So environment dot current directory may not give you all the values correctly. Now, how to solve this? Is the execution successful in the production?
No, it's not successful.
How to correct it? Simple thing. See, that particular C drive location is not accessible. But what we can do is every like I need to have access to my production environment. I need to know where the files are available. There is C drive in my production environment. Windows R. So again, I'm not going to show my production environment to you now, but simple way to do that is instead of adding that in the current directory, let's go ahead into process and add it to the C drive because C drive is always available. Go to image path, go to image path. See, now I need not change at every location, but I just need to change it one location. This one, instead of C, instead of all these items, let's go ahead and add C:/ as my path. Okay. And let's test it. Test the bot if it is working or not. Now, where my files will be saved instead of the current location?
Need to check it. Yeah.
C drive. Let's go ahead and see. Or it can be any temp folder or random folder which is acceptable by your business. The data is not getting loaded, but everything is failed. If you see here, transaction item, female, female, female. All the items are female items. Let's go ahead and run the bot again. Let's see if we can get some male items. This is random information that you are getting. Project, again, everything is failed. Okay, see here. C drive is denied. Access to the path is denied. So this is telling me that this path is not acceptable. Let's go ahead and try to create in something called as temp folder. Or in this, let's go ahead and create temp folder if it doesn't exist. Again, this is a bit business logic that I'm trying to learn and understand, like that I'm trying to help you out. So we cannot store in C drive, but there can be a folder in which it can be stored. Let's go ahead and try to create a folder, create directory or create folder. Okay. In this create folder, I can use C:/ and then temp. This is my folder, and that folder is not available right now. There is no temp folder over here. If you can copy this, save. Now this will create me a temp folder, C:/ temp folder, and whatever output that I get here, root path, str root path. Now this str root path, I'm going to send it in this particular place, str root path, and then you also need to give a slash here. If you don't give a slash, then it will not be a correct path. Now, if you can see here, operator doesn't define. This is iLocal resource. This must be used dot path or full name dot toString. This is the correct way how you do it. Let's keep a breakpoint over here and then continue. What's the error here? Absolute paths are not recommended. Relative paths are necessary. That's fine. Instead of including a drive later folder, it's asking us some absolute path, and this is a warning. This is not an error. It's fine to have it. Let's male, female, male, female. Yeah. Now if you see C folders, now I have temp folder created. Now in this temp folder, step into and then write text file. Okay, this is throwing me errors. What is that? Could not write. Okay, could not write path. D git code. I think there is some error. D root path. This one. Let's go ahead and see what is the error here. Properties, locals. What is the file path? This is the root path. And then here, if you are getting full name is temp and ID is the value that we need. Can you see the ID? This is giving me the correct value, right? Not the full name. When you are giving the full name, it is understanding that, okay, the value is D drive and all my location, and then it is going with some temp folder, which is not existing. That's the reason it's throwing error. So instead of root path, what should I give? Root path full name here?
ID.
Correct. ID and save. Click on save and then hit on run. Now, there is one more logic that can be understood. Now, I stopped the bot in between and I started the bot again. So it did not process all the items. Now, in the report, will I get all the items or will I get only the new items that are executed again? I'm getting some noise. Can you guys go on mute if you're not talking? My task is completed, but I'm getting only 5 items. But it processed more than 5 items in this current execution. Try to find out a way how can you get the information. But right now, let's go ahead and publish the code, corrected folders. Okay. And then hit on publish. Going here, this is a new version, like version 2, Robo 2.0. And then save it, upload to my package, browse. This is the second version. See which process can be upgraded because the process is already available for me. It is showing me that this process can be upgraded. Click on upgrade. In the automations, let's go to jobs and then let's go ahead and restart. Let's see if things are working or not. And in storage buckets, we have random user me storage bucket already in place. Let's see. There might be some previous files. Yeah, I think we have a file now. So all the items are completed. In the queues, random user me, view transactions. I have some items that are successful and some are failed. Let's see in the job. My job is successful and all my items are done. So there are no items further to process. So we started from zero with zero task, creating a new task, and then completed all the items with all the requirements. So that's the session. How is it? Maybe took a bit long, but last half an hour is what you get more exceptions, and that's where we solve more. Please unmute and talk.
Yes, it was good.
Is it complex
Got
enough?
to- No, I think not that much complex, but it was new. Yeah.
New for a beginner. It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's have a quick feedback and then leave. We are also starting our new projects training program from Monday, and basics training program also from Monday. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and join in that. Ping me up for details. So Prashant, you participated more. Vasu participated more. What is the feedback on the program, on the session?
Yeah, it's good.
Mhm.
I think it is better, but initial state it is more complex for me. But going on hand experience, it will be good for understanding it. Like
Okay. Thank you so much, Prashant.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you please repeat it again? I did not get it.
Like, what is the feedback on the session?
Yeah, it was very good. I think I was not aware about the API automation, but I got to know a lot of activities related to API automation, and at the same time, I got to know that how to handle the transaction we need to handle on the same day, like the date to date time dot now. And yeah, it was quite good. Got new things to learn.
Got it. Thank you. And let's go with Shiva.
Hey Vajrang. Yeah, it
Yes,
was
Shiva.
good.
Okay. So if you are okay, let's go ahead and take a quick screenshot of all the members and please post in the LinkedIn with the session that you have attended. It will definitely help all the new members also to get communicate with me and to get benefited. These sessions I'm doing regularly, so I'll keep you posted. Can you guys turn on your cameras? Let's have a quick screen capture. It's okay, whatever way you are. I would like to see whom I'm connecting with. Hi Prashant.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Same here.
Others, can you please turn on your cameras? Okay, we have people leaving. This is what I'll see every time. It's fine. Thank you so much for connecting. Bye bye. Hey, we have Vasu. Hey Vasu. Okay, Shiva. Okay, I need to wait some time for people to be ready. Okay, good to have you. Nikhil. Nikhil, you joined in the basics program, right? Sorry, projects program.
Yeah, projects.
So how did you feel with today's session?
Yeah, today is the first session that I attended, so it was very good, to be honest.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone.
I'm also taking your recording sessions. First time I
Okay.
taken live of you.
So
It's
recording
good to
sessions
listen.
and live sessions. I think most of it is already there in place, but is it interesting?
But it is interesting about product tested deploying and errors handling. It will not include in recording sessions.
Yes. Recording sessions, you will get the complete success path only.
Yes, only.
Oh, okay, then. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Vasu.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ram.
you, everyone.
And
Thank you.
members who are from the current team, this is your last session of the program. And from Monday, you can still connect with me, but you will have a different group to connect. Okay, bye-bye.